Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Cook the Book. We post these seasonally on YouTube, where there are many. I think this is our 39th, 40th. So there are many other ones to view if you enjoy them. This is Valerie and I'm Tina. We take inspiration from a book or two that we talk about and then make a fun recipe. So we're going to talk about a couple summary books today and then do a summary recipe. So the first one we're going to talk about is Kissing the Sky with the author Haley Pham. It is a book, if you liked Daisy Jones and the Six, I think you would really like this book. This is a book that goes back and forth between the summer of 1969 and then 50 years later. The main character is Susanna. In 1969, she's home from college. She lives in a southern, very religious home where rock and roll is forbidden. Her father is narcissistic and very demanding and drives away her friends. So she's having a very unfortunate summer at home. And her one friend shows up and encourages her to leave home without telling her family to go to upstate New York for 3 days of peace, love, and rock and roll at Woodstock. So she goes without telling any of her family. Just as a little warning, there are some trigger warnings to this book. As you can imagine, a lot went on during that time and as a lot is talked about. So again, the book jumps back and forth between 1969 and 50 years later when Susanna takes her granddaughter to the redo of Woodstock that they did 50 years later. There's lots of seriousness to the book, but there's also a lot of fun to the book. It is considered historical fiction, and I think the author did a really good job about, especially the era of 1969. What was going on in the country at that time. One of her brothers was in Vietnam. What went on with the Americans, how they felt about the Vietnam War. So there's a lot of interesting pieces to this book, seriousness, but entertaining also, okay? The second book we're going to talk about is Just Friends by Haley Pham. She has been a YouTube star since she was 11. She's now in her early 20s, and she is always reviewing books. She's a really fun person to watch. And you may know her husband, which is Ryan Trahan, also a big YouTuber. I have followed her for a long time on YouTube, and the last 2 years was her talking about writing her own book and how the process was and the rewrites and meeting with the publishers and getting denied. So that piece of it's very interesting if you choose to do that. This book itself is a clean read. There's nothing spicy in it. It's a very sweet book about second chance romance, about two junior high school friends who were always best friends. Then something crazy happens and she moves away and decides to go back years later when her aunt is quite ill. And then they reconnect, and it's a very sweet, fun read. So if you're looking for, something to read this summer at the beach or on your back porch or in the cool air conditioning, I think either of these would be a good choice. So we were kind of inspired. We were thinking about summer and fruit, and we decided to do a fun fruit dip.
Yep. And this, this fruit dip is really easy. It's really good. It kind of makes a lot. So if you're going to a party or cookout, something like that, it's a great thing to take. You can also make a lighter version with the ingredients, because you can use a lighter cream cheese, a lighter whipped topping, a sugar-free Jell-O, pudding mix. This, you're not going to get away with too much with that, but can't have everything. So to start with this recipe, you just have your cream cheese softened and you put it in your bowl. And then you just want to make it, use your mixer, make it a little bit creamy so you can add the next ingredient here.
And it's nice you can do it with a hand mixer. You don't have to
Yes.
bust out the big guns. Yeah,
Hand mixers are the best.
they are. Yes.
Not that I don't love my big mixer, but
And even though we're calling this a summer recipe, really, fruit dip is year round, let's be honest.
Yeah. And with this fruit dip, you can use the pineapple juice, or you can use orange juice, or just milk if you just don't want the extra flavor.
Yeah. And in other recipes, I had not seen the juice added, so I think that would be a nice taste.
I like it. It's not super heavy flavor, but it gives enough to just kind of make it light. So just kind of scrape down your bowl. All right, then the next thing you're gonna add is, this is 7 ounces, you only need 3.5, so just half the container. That makes it kind of easy. So there's minimal measuring equipment too in this recipe. It's kind of easy.
And anything with marshmallow fluff is good.
Oh, it is.
I would say anything with marshmallow fluff or sweetened condensed milk.
Yes.
Always a winner.
So then just mix this up.
So like for servings, how many servings do you think this would?
I
it's
don't
hard
know
to
what
say
an
with the
official
dip.
serving is, but I would say maybe half cup might be an official serving. Gosh, I don't even know.
So probably
like,
one batch per family.
Yeah, like,
do.
I would say maybe 10 or 12 servings in here. I mean, it does make quite a bit. So then it'll look smooth, just like that. Kind of looks like a frosting almost.
It does. And I think the secret is to have the cream cheese like super soft.
It really
Yeah.
is, yeah. If you don't set it out ahead of time, you can always carefully heat it up in the microwave. So
Just not in the foil wrapper.
just, yeah, not a foil wrapper. Don't leave it in there. Just kind of on a plate by itself. Okay. So then the next thing that we will add is an instant vanilla pudding mix. Just add the whole, just get the small serving size. I think it's 4 servings. It's the 3.4 ounce. And I've never tried other flavors, like a lemon or something. I don't know. I've always used vanilla, but
Interesting.
I don't know. You can probably experiment if you want to. Just add the whole thing in there. And then add 4 ounces of the pineapple juice. And like I said, you could add the orange juice, milk, whatever you want. And if it's too thick, once you add that, you can add a little bit more to get it the consistency that you want. So once that's in there, you just beat it until it's all mixed together and kind of fluffy and
I was surprised in the Jello aisle how many cook type Jellos there were. There was a lot. And I'm like, who is still cooking Jello? Pudding, yeah, Jello brand pudding.
yes. I don't know if there's a flavor difference
I
or
don't
not.
know.
You just want to mix this about 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay.
So,
It's time for the whipped topping. Does it get folded in?
yes.
Okay.
So it'll just kind of just be. Like I said, if you get to the stage and you think it's too thick, you can always add more of the pineapple juice too. And in the directions, it says to add half of this and then the other half. Just makes it a little easier to work with, I think. And then just fold it in.
It does make a large amount.
It does.
Nice
And I
little
think
put
the,
together, yeah.
I say the Cool Whip is what adds the volume to it. To do that.
pineapple juice gives it a little bit of color too, along with
It
the pudding.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if you could use other flavors, but I would think you could if you wanted a different flavor. Maybe even chocolate, and you could just use milk with it. And
Oh.
I don't know, I've never tried that.
No, but
It'd
it
probably be
would
really
tasty.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's pretty versatile.
Vanilla probably would appeal to the masses though.
Yeah.
Yeah. This would even be fun to make in the fall if you were tailgating or having people over.
Oh yeah. And fruit trays are always a good thing to bring.
Yep.
But, all right. And then once it's all mixed together, then that's your dip.
All right, sounds very good. Well, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Cook the Book. If you're ever in Central Ohio, we would love to see you at the Centerburg Public Library. We are the geographical center of Ohio. And if not, we hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.